Why is it so easy to add to your life, but so hard to subtract? I mean, think about it. Struggling at work? Well, then add a new skill. Feeling stressed? Well, add a 5 a.m. workout or some other well-being hack. Short on money? Add another shift to your already packed schedule. We keep on adding, thinking it'll solve our problems. But all this adding just leaves us feeling tired, exhausted, and overwhelmed. What if I told you that the secret to a better life was in doing less, not more? What if simplifying and making space is the secret to better relationships, a greater sense of calm, and a more fulfilling career? Today, I'm going to introduce you to a concept called subtraction neglect. New research that explains why we keep adding even when we feel chronically overloaded. I'll show you why subtraction is so hard, and if you stick around to the end, I'll give you 10 practical examples to help you slow down, simplify, and make space in your life. Most of us try to solve our problems by adding, not eliminating. This isn't just hearsay, it's backed by research. According to Lydie Klotz, author of Subtract, our brains are wired this way. A professor at the intersection of engineering and behavioral science, Klotz has spent years studying what he calls subtraction neglect. When faced with a problem, our default is to add. We instinctively look for what we can do more of rather than what we can remove. This isn't a conscious choice, it's subconscious. We are biased towards solving problems by doing more, not less. Study after study backs this up. For example, in a set of studies, participants were asked to solve a complex puzzle with two equally viable solutions. They could either add a block or remove a block, and both options would solve the puzzle. Even when removing a block was the simpler, more efficient solution, participants still chose to add. This reveals how deeply ingrained our bias towards adding really is. In fact, many subjects didn't even notice subtraction as an option. It's not that they rejected this as a strategy, they simply didn't see it. As Klotz puts it, we neglect subtraction as a way of changing things. I see this all the time in the teams I work with. They're always adding more. New goals, projects, pillars, initiatives, always more, never less. We brainstorm ideas starting with what can we do next, rather than what can we stop, simplify, or consolidate. But this constant adding doesn't lead to better outcomes. Instead, we end up stretched thin, juggling too many projects, constantly distracted and unable to finish anything with excellence. Imagine a planning session where the focus wasn't on new ideas, but making space by removing projects or processes. What if our team started each month by eliminating non-essential meetings and recurring commitments? And what if instead of creating a to-do list, you created a not to-do list, identifying distractions and obligations you could let go of this month? Imagine starting your family's week by asking, what can we remove from our schedule? Whether it's an extra sporting commitment, unnecessary errand, or time away from connecting with each other. And what if you decluttered your digital life? Removing notifications, unsubscribing from social media groups, and deleting apps that vie for your attention. In other words, could the solution to many of life's most pressing problems be in making space for less, not more? Do you agree? If so, press the like button and share your comments with me. So once you understand the science of subtraction neglect, you'll start to see new possibilities appear in work and life. It's about retraining your mind to see subtraction, simplifying, eliminating, and removing as a real option for solving life's complex problems. Now, I'm not saying that addition isn't useful, but too often we add without asking, what can I remove first? So what might this look like in your everyday life? Let me finish with 10 practical examples to get you moving. At work, can you remove outdated policies and unnecessary rules? Can you simplify presentations to make them clearer and shorter? Can you reduce emails by choosing not to respond to every thread? Can you scale back the number of projects you're working on concurrently? Can you have fewer meetings? in your personal life? Can you simplify meal planning by rotating a few go-to recipes? Can you pause streaming services or limit TV time? Can you declutter your home by giving away items you no longer use? Or simplify your wardrobe by donating clothes you rarely wear? Can you embrace a slightly messier house to enjoy better quality time with your kids? I mean, none of this is complicated. It simply requires a shift in mindset to see subtraction or elimination as a real practical tactic to solve life's complex problems. And once you start to think this way, you'll begin to uncover your own creative solutions to subtract, simplify, minimize, and make space. The truth is, you don't need to keep adding more and more to make progress. You just need a little bit more space. That's the heart of subtraction, of minimalism, of doing less, not more. It's about simplifying your life in order to create more freedom and life. So here's my challenge to you. What is one thing that you can remove today? It might be a distraction or a commitment or a task that no longer serves you. I really encourage you to pause, make some space, and take a moment to think deeply about something you can subtract in order to make progress. And then I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment. Tell me what that one thing that you can simplify and subtract and remove from your life in order to make space in the long run. Writing it down, leaving a comment won't just encourage me, it'll formalize the commitment to yourself and encourage others so that you can actually make space in your life. Remove one small thing today. Make a bit more space, think deeply, and remove something else. That's the space maker way. In my next video, I want to share a story about how I discovered the power of less in a Chinese mahjong clubhouse, how the Eastern mindset differs from our Western mindset, and how you can make space by decluttering your life in various ways. If you haven't already, I'd love you to subscribe so you don't miss a video. But until next time, don't just add, subtract, and make space.